Okay, on page 57 of your handy dandy guided notes, standard deviation, section 10.3 of stats. We're going to write down, I can calculate standard deviation. Thank you. Can you go grab the papers from the copy room? Thank you. I can calculate standard deviation for a data set. Standard deviation is how spread out the numbers are. The symbol is right here. The Greek symbol or Greek letter sigma. The formula is the square root of the variance. Now, what you can think of is if you have a small standard deviation, most of the scores are really close together. Large standard deviation, they're a little more spread out. We're also going to be using it when we talk about shapes of distribution. Okay. We're going to do it by hand. We've got the steps written here, but I'm going to do simplified steps as we're going through. Okay. So here we go, where it says method 1. This is the data set that we're going to work this through for. Okay. Step 1, calculate the mean or the average. Step 2, subtract the average or the mean from each number. Do you notice how this doesn't do that for each number? That means you need to fill it in. So we took the first number of the set and we subtracted the average, which is 58. Second number, third number, what's the one after that? And what are we subtracting? Then minus 58 and go ahead and fill in the missing numbers. What is 49 subtract 58? 67 subtract 58. 55 subtract 58. 63 subtract 58. We good? Okay. So step 1, we find the average. Step 2, we find the difference. So we take each number and we subtract the average. Then we are going to take each of these numbers and square them. So we have -5 squared, 3 squared, -9 squared, 9 squared, -3 squared, and 5 squared. Go ahead and square those for me. Bless you. Are we good? Are we good? Yes. Yes. You guys look too tired. I'm glad you're awake though. I might have stopped you before we moved on. Good. All positive numbers, correct? If you got a negative number, that means that you did not have the negative inside the parentheses when you squared it. Okay. So step 3, we square all the numbers. Step 1, we find the average. Step 2, we take each number, subtract the average. Step 3, we square all of those. Step 4, we're going to add them all up and divide by how many there are, which means we're going to find the average. So step 4, we find the average. We're going to add them all up. Since I'm going to be using this number again, I'm actually going to use the real fraction. Step 5, cross out step 3. That's not step 3, that's step 5. I like to simplify the steps. We're going to take the square root of that number. So in our handy dandy calculator, do you see kitty corner to the 7? You have an x squared button. Right above it in the blue, you have the square root. So we're going to go second, that x squared to get the square root. And then in our handy dandy calculator, you can either still the fraction or still the decimal. I like the fraction. .19 is going to be our standard deviation. Is that what you guys got? We're not going to do the calculator version yet. I want to do a couple by hand first. So set A, let's go ahead and write it down. 70, 73, 77, 82, 92, 95. What was our first step for this one? First step was find the mean or the average. So let's go ahead and do that. Everyone should be doing this on their own. What is our mean or average? 81.5. What was step 2? We took each number and we subtracted the average or the mean from it. after we found the difference between each number in the set and the mean, what do we do? We're going to square each of these numbers. Make sure you use in parentheses so you don't drop your negatives. What do we do after we square each of those? And yes. Last step, what do? We take the square root of it. Those are all the steps that we had over here in the notes. Where are your notes? Okay, you're going to do the same thing for set B. Same thing for set B. Okay, for set B, your standard deviation should have been 2.38. Who had 2.38? Awesome. Square root. Okay. Now we're going to learn how to do them or enter this set into the calculator, okay? You guys see the instructions in front of you. So I'm going to switch screens so you can see my calculator screen. Okay. And you can see what buttons I'm going to push. And you're going to do this with me. Okay. After it loads. Okay. First off, we're going to go to the stat menu. So right here next to the left arrow, you will see the stat button. Come on. There you go, stat button. We want to edit and enter some stats. So notice it's already on option 1. We're going to hit enter. We have different lists here. I want to come over to list 1. You may or may not have stuff entered on yours. That's okay. I'm going to go to list 1. If you do not have list 1, please raise your hand. Okay. So are we now on the screen? Yes. What? I don't know. There are literally the steps printed out on your paper. On what to push. Yes. The stat button. There we go. Okay. We're not doing homework right now. We're doing this together. Shh. Underneath list 1, we're going to type all of the numbers from our set. Now, this overtypes, which means we don't have to delete anything. Okay. So we're just going to type over, even if you have something there, 53, hit enter. 61, hit enter. 49, hit enter. 67, hit enter. 55, hit enter. 63, hit enter. Then for the extra numbers here, see the delete button kind of by the left arrow? Delete, delete, delete. Be really careful when you're hitting the delete button, because if you accidentally hit it too many times, you can delete the whole list. If you want to clear a whole list, hit clear and enter. Yes. That's why you're supposed to follow button by button. Okay. Stat button. Stat button. Oh, enter, enter, enter. Don't hit clear, just type over. 53. 61. 49. And 67. 55. Okay, you have to make sure after your last number, you hit enter again. You hit the actual enter, because if you don't, it's not going to actually enter that number into the set. Okay, so even if you type 63, if you don't hit enter, it's not going to be there. Next, we're going to hit the stat button again. So go back to the stats menu. Everyone here? Stat menu. Okay. We are going to now, instead of edit, we're now going to do some calculations. So hit the right arrow to calculations. You'll see a whole bunch of different options here. We're going to be using a few different ones later on. Right now, we're worried about one variable stats, which it should already be on, one variable stats. Hit enter. This is where we would select the list. Where did we enter our data for this set? List 1. If we entered it in a different one, notice number 1, 2, 3 above them in blue, you have L1, L2, L3. That's where you can select different lists, so you don't have to like keep typing over them. If you're going to be dealing with multiple lists, you can enter them all and then go pick which ones you're going to use. So go ahead and hit enter. Enter. There we go. On this list here, it lists a whole bunch of stats for us. X with a line over it. What's that number? That's the mean or the average. This sum is the summation notation. It means that you add them all together. We're dealing with standard deviation, which is the sigma. So all the way down here, 6.19. We can go ahead and write that down, 6.19. Is that the same number that we got when we did this set by hand earlier? Yeah, it is. If we hit the down arrow, you can see there are 6 numbers in this set. The minimum is 49. Q1 is 53. The median is 58. Q3 is 63. And the max is 67. Those are all of the numbers that we would need in order to draw a box plot. So arrows, you can move through all of them. These are all the one variable stats for the data set that we entered. Good. We're going to do one more together, and then you're going to try one on your own. So remember set A in our handy dandy guided notes? We got 9.29. We're going to go ahead and do that in the calculator. So hit the stat button. We want to edit. Going to come over to list 1 and we're going to have 70, enter. 73, enter. 77, enter. 82, enter. 92, enter. 95, enter. Sometimes I'll count the numbers and make sure I have the same number that I'm supposed to, so I didn't mess one up. I'll also take a look at them and make sure that they look about right. If all of them are 2 digits, I make sure I didn't skip a number. Okay, we have them all entered. So we're going to go stats, calculations this time. One variable stats. We're still under list 1 and calculate. What is our standard deviation for this one? 9.287, 9.29, if we round it correctly. I would like you to do set B on your own in your handy dandy calculator. Set B. Who got the same answer that they did when they did it by hand? Awesome. Okay, we're actually going to stop right there instead of moving on to the next part. And your homework, we're going to break it apart. We're not going to do the back page yet, the very back page. So your homework for this section we've got the front where we do one by hand. It's just walking you through the steps. And then we have some that we're going to enter into the calculator all the way through 14. Depending on how long the test takes on Wednesday, we might be finishing this in class on Wednesday, or it might be bumped back to Monday next week. I'm going to give you guys about 10 to 15 minutes to work on the first 15 problems, and then we're going to start reviewing.